Hello, this is Tina X again. I obviously have to do a video today because of the documentary which just came out yesterday. I hope my audio problem is a little bit better. I think it's not gone. I spent about all morning to sort it out, and I think I have some background music now. It's part of this free software I'm using, and I think it's a little bit better. I tried it, but let's see how it goes. If not, I will still work on it, I promise you. Okay, the video. The documentary is called Killer on 32nd Floor, and a lot of us watched it already yesterday or today or last night, and I thought I'd do a video about the full documentary, but I found myself being busy with the timestamps and Campos again, so I think that's what this video is about. Let's see how it goes. Okay, the documentary, if you haven't watched it yet, I recommend you to go and watch it first and then come back to my video. You can find it on Hulu, you can find it on ABC News, on the webpage right now. I don't think it will be on there forever, but it's on there right now. I will put the link in the description. Also, a member of our community, Truthseeker, she put it up on her channel. So if you can't watch it on the internet or on the ABC net, oh my god, webpage, then go to her channel and watch it there. And I recommend you to subscribe to her channel anyway, because this lady is thinking about doing videos in the future, and if you subscribe to her, you might be one of the first who will watch her videos. Okay. The documentary. Let me first talk about the motivation of the documentary to make that clear. This is not evidence. This is a public relationship piece of MGM. That's what it is, and that's how I look at it. It's a corporation or a production supported by MGM, MB, the LVMPD, and I think it's a win-win situation for all these people. For Mandalay Bay, it's about damage control, and ABC News got some exclusive insights. You know, they were up in the hallway, they are the first showing it, and they got some new footage, elevator footage. That's what I will talk about in this video, and I think it's a win-win for them, for the case. Let's see. Well, I think, if you know, I've watched it, you have watched it, so my personal summary is, yes, they don't raise any issues, but gloss over certain issues at the same time, and they also make a few mistakes. When I wrote this sentence, I still thought I will, maybe cover all the mistakes I can find and raise the issues they, try to gloss over. But then the video, the deeper I look, the more I concentrated on Campos. So just let me give you two examples. The way they are dealing with things. They are just saying, for example, the food cart. Oh yeah, and then Campos passed the food cart. They're just saying that, like nothing is wrong with that. They don't say, yeah, there was this food cart, but Campos, by the way, said he didn't see it. No, they don't say anything about that. When I say a few mistakes, one little mistake, for example, is that they say he walked back from the stairwell to check on the hot sauce on 32129, which is not what the final report says. The final report says when he comes from the elevator and walks down the hallway to go into the foyer, he checks on the hot sauce on 129 then. Just a little thing, and I personally believe a normal person who will watch this documentary, they don't care, they don't see it, and they don't mind. It's just us who notice these kinds of mistakes. because we are like, we know almost too much about this case. That's why we see these things. Normal people out there with only a normal interest in this, they don't notice these mistakes. So it's easy, you know, doing this documentary and polishing the image of the Mandalay Bay to maybe gloss over certain issues so it all looks smooth and nice. I am sure a lot of other channels will cover this documentary and will show us all the mistakes they made, and I can't wait for these videos. One video I've watched already is Mr. Burgandy's, and he raised a very, very important issue. I think that's the biggest issue, and that's the timestamps of the footage they showed us the first time ever. You know, it's Shaq and Campos in the elevator. When I saw that, I was so excited for exactly 2 seconds. I was excited because I never expected to see them in the elevator. I thought they will never show us. I mean, it's 14 months now. I thought that's not happening. But yesterday they did show us them two in the MB elevator. I will speak more about the time stamp problem when I'm going into the Campos narrative, which is pretty much now. Okay, this is the final report. I'm only covering the time from 9:46 to 10 o'clock and see what this documentary is giving us to fill gaps, to, you know, give some proof or understand issues a little bit better. Let's just talk through it. Okay, so at 9:46 Campos enters the service elevator, and a minute later he got off the service elevator on the 30th floor. We see that in the documentary, more or less, I must say. Okay, this is him. That's them showing us him entering the service elevator. I can't see the floor number here. Maybe one of you have a better software possibility to zoom in. I would be very thankful if you would tell me which floor number it is. And now this is what Mr. Burgandy already covered, is the big problem with the timestamps. Yeah, we know, let me go to this one. This is what we got of Mandalay Bay about Stephen Paddock being, you know, in the hotel and in the elevators. Yes, the cameras, I mean, they have thousands. They show the timestamps different. Some of them are in the left corner, some of them have, you know, more information, but they all have the date and the time and a number. You know, cameras have numbers, but I don't see them on every single one, but time and date is just what we are getting. But here we see, okay, here I cut it out wrong, so at the top it says Mandalay Bay service elevator, then it's a number, yeah, the camera number, I think, the date, and then nothing. I would bet money on it that there was a time, but somebody deleted it and decided to put a time up here. That's when he enters the service elevator, and this one is when he leaves the service elevator a minute later. It matches, you know, this timestamp up here matches the narrative, the final report. Again, when he's leaving the elevator, we can't see the number, and we also have, again, yes, same camera, I mean, it's the same CCTV footage, but no time. If Mandalay Bay gave them a copy of the original and said, here, ABC News, use it for the documentary, Did they provide the correct timestamp and ABC Media decided that's no good enough, I want it up here, so I delete it from here and put it up there? Question is, why would they do that? Or is it that Mandalay Bay thought, this time is maybe not the time, you know, we need, so we put it up here? That's speculation, obviously, but you tell me like a good reason why they would delete the time off here. I can't find one. In my head, I have no idea why they would take the timestamp out there. If they decide to show us elevator footage, and I'm thankful for that, yeah, I'm really thankful, then they need to deliver at the same time the original footage with the original timestamp. Otherwise, this is worthless. This is absolutely nothing. Yeah? This is just feeding the conspiracies. That's all. It's only feeding the conspiracies. I want, you know, if I go back here and I want to tick these boxes and say, oh yeah, I've seen that footage, I've seen that footage. Yeah, they tell me I've seen it now. But I'm not as skeptical as many others in this community, but I can't accept that. That's nothing, absolutely nothing. So that is no good. Let me go further. He walked to the stairwell in the 100 ring of the 30th floor and walked up to the 32nd floor. There are no cameras, so we can't see it. But I would like, a lot of you know that, but maybe some don't. So you understand why he's doing that. There are two different elevator, how do you pronounce it, shafts, which get used. This one on the left is covering the floors 1 to 30. And this one is covering 31 to, 62. Which means, you see here, this is the 30th floor, and you see the door here. So if he's on the 30th floor, he cannot, you know, he's using these ones, but he can't stop at the 32nd floor. If wherever he was on the 30th floor, he only had two options. He could have walked to the service elevator or use the stairs. I don't know exactly where he was on the 30th floor, but he must have decided, I better walk up these two floors instead of walking down whichever wing he was, then the 200 wing, service elevator, down, up, and then walking into the 100 wing. But he didn't have the chance to use the elevator from 30 to 32, the normal guest elevator, just saying. Just many of you knew that probably. If you didn't, now you do. Okay. The next one, we don't have footage about that, but it is an issue, and I just want to raise that for 1 minute again. So Campos walked up the stairs to the 33rd floor, and then walked down the 100 wing of the 33rd floor to the center core, and he took a guest elevator to the 32nd floor. We did get the footage of the guest elevator to the 32nd floor from the 33rd floor. I'll show you in 1 second. I want to talk about walked up the stairs to the 33rd floor. So he was on the 32nd floor, realized I can't get in, the door is barricaded, and I personally would have walked down the 31st floor. No, he decided to walk up. That's what the final report says. But if we go to his statement, that's from his statement, he says, I dropped down to the 31st floor, I went down the hallway into the elevators, I believe it was the center core elevators, and then from there I walked all the way down. So he believes it's a guest elevator. He isn't 100% sure on that, which I totally don't understand, but he decided to put a I believe it in when he speaks about which elevator did I use. But he seems to be quite sure about I dropped down. He's just stating it like that. dropped down to the 31st floor. Even on the Alan interview, let me play it for 1 second. Okay, with tone is better.
Right. And so, after I would drop down and then came back through the hallway.
Okay, that was it. So here he's saying he's dropping down as well. He's saying it in a statement. He's saying it in the Allen show. But the final report says he walked up to the stairs. Okay. What do we find in the documentary? Ta-da! First time I can see the floor number. It's the 33rd floor. It's supposed to be Campos. And if you look here, it looks like, you know, he's pushing this button here where, you know, it could be. He's in the elevator, it's the 33rd floor, and it could be that he's going to the 32nd floor. Is that really helping me? No, it's not. Yeah? What I can say is I'm surprised and disappointed at the same time. But this is clearly no evidence. It's nothing because the timestamps are not right. It's supporting the narrative. It's in Mandalay Bay's favor. It would have been something big, really big, something I was waiting for. Yeah? If all these things, if they would have had original timestamps, that would have filled gaps for me. I mean, I always, but not always, but I've decided to believe that he was there in time, yeah, over the last months. And this is nothing because the timestamps are edited. So this is just what I picked out of this documentary to fill my gaps, but I'm not happy. It's no good for me. It's nothing. Okay, I can't wait to watch all the other videos which the creators will make on this documentary, and